I found my suitable products, but I'm sure a few of us would like to know
Yeah.
how to go about selecting the best moisturizer for you, given that there's so many variants in the market, and
Right.
what are the factors?
Yes, it can get very confusing knowing how to pick a moisturizer. There are three things that we need to keep in mind. One is understanding of what kind of skin we have. Now, obviously, this is not a golden rule, but I've seen in India most people, even when you've got an oily skin on your face, tend to have dry skin on their bodies. And certain areas, especially hands, feet, elbows, knees, tend to be constantly dry. Secondly, feet, especially in India, we all tend to walk and play barefoot when we are younger, and we don't pay as much attention to our feet, so it does tend to get very, very dry. So one, it's important to understand whether you have dry skin on your face and body, very dry skin or normal to dry skin. Secondly, it's also very important to look at the ingredient listing of any moisturizer you pick up. There are certain ingredients which are very, very good for the skin, but also leave the skin feeling cosmetically elegant. Light liquid paraffin is one such ingredient which penetrates well into the skin, tends to hydrate the skin extremely well, also deep repairs the skin, and yet manages to not leave the skin looking sticky or messy. It's also important to look for ingredients like cocoa butter, which especially in the winter season tend to nourish you much better, and glycerine, which is a very important ingredient in moisturizers, because glycerine is something which is called a humectant. Now, a humectant is something which actually pulls moisture from the atmosphere and locks it back into your skin. So if I use a product with glycerine, even sitting in a dry AC atmosphere, I'm unlikely to lose the moisture to the skin. So it's important to look out for these ingredients like cocoa butter, like liquid paraffin. And of course, petroleum jelly itself is a wonderful ingredient, especially for those areas which are super dry.